Hello, and I'm gonna try and talk about sexual dreams. This is like the fourth time I've tried making this video. A few times a question has been asked if whether or not a dream that has where your person in a dream is enjoying sex or something in the dream, whether or not that invalidates or talks about your sexual identity in some way. And the short version of this is no, I don't think so. And the long version is explaining why. Ever since we're young, we have a lot of ideas that get conveyed to us about sex and what sex is. We have fairy tales, which talk about gender roles and expected ideal relationships, supposedly, and punishment for wicked doing. We have as early as elementary school was when I first started learning explicitly about sex and stuff. Well, except I started learning about puberty before then, and blah. But there's a lot of stuff that gets conveyed to us about sexual intercourse and other attitudes about sex before we're even conscious and before anyone else even thinks to discuss those attitudes and ideas that are latched onto what sex is. And to say that our subconscious minds can kind of tap into those ideas a little more quickly than we can would be an understatement. So, because the thing is that as far as civilization goes, we convey a lot of ideas via shorthand through symbols and signatures and all these other sorts of things where we convey, because sometimes ideas and concepts, if you don't go into depth about them, understanding them for just word by word can be really, really difficult. So we have ideas that we convey really shorthand through just like a small symbol, like say unity might be conveyed by a triangle, or love often gets conveyed like this. But there's a lot of things that about sex and ideas about sex that we don't even talk about, but they're there. And I think that oftentimes in dreams, if you do have a sexual dream, there's a lot of things that come up as a result in the dream about what sex means and what the things surrounding sex mean that have nothing to do with the act or attraction or any of that. Because we keep being told in this society that sex is sex. That's what a lot of people tell you, and that to not enjoy sex is wrong, or to think that sex is anything other than sex is strange. Although then you have the people who attach moral crap to it, which is kind of hypocritical of them, because sex is not tied to morality, I don't think. But there's other things that it's tied to. Dimensions of power relationships, the idea of intimacy, and whether or not that can be conveyed in a manner that's not sex. Yeah, I think that, in dreams, sex is not necessarily just, it doesn't have the strict meaning of sex, because there's so many other things in dreams as far as psychology is concerned that get conveyed by, like, phallic imagery or other things that we associate with sexual intercourse that, ironically, convey more about the act than, or strictly about the act than, just the act itself. Because the act of sex itself is a symbol for something else in dreams, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. I guess that's all I can say about it. There's a lot to say about, like, the meaning of it, but yeah. See you next week.